We talk a lot about strategy and technical skills in leadership, but what's that one thing that really turns a good leader into a great one? Well, today we're getting into the real heart of it all, emotional intelligence.
Seriously, just take a second and think about the best boss you ever had. Yeah, they probably knew their stuff, but what was it that really set them apart? It probably wasn't just what they knew. It was how they made you and everyone else on the team feel.
And that's where this idea of emotional intelligence, or EQ, comes in. So, what is it really? It's not that complicated. It basically boils down to three things: knowing what sets you off, being able to control your reactions, and then using empathy to really connect with people. And we're going to break down each one.
Okay, so first things first. You gotta start with the foundation, and that is knowing yourself. This is all about self-awareness, and it is absolutely the bedrock of emotional intelligence. I mean, think about it. How can you possibly manage your own emotions, let alone understand somebody else's, if you don't even know what's going on inside your own head? This right here gets to the absolute core of it. The whole thing kicks off with recognizing your own emotional triggers. What's that comment that just makes your blood boil? What kind of feedback makes you immediately defensive? You have to know what your buttons are, because that's the only way you can stop them from getting pushed when the pressure's on. Right, so just being aware isn't the whole game. That's kind of passive, isn't it? It's one thing to know, okay, I'm feeling really frustrated right now. But the real leadership work, well, that starts with what you decide to do with that feeling. So what is the next step?
And that leads us directly to our second pillar, self-regulation. If self-awareness is knowing, then self-regulation is doing. It's the skill you build to choose how you respond instead of just letting your emotions run the show. And this is the playbook right here. It's a super simple but incredibly powerful little process. First, you recognize the emotion. That's your self-awareness kicking in. Then, and this part is the absolute game changer, you just pause. Take a breath. Create that little bit of space between what happened and how you react. And it's in that space that you get to do step 3. You get to choose how you want to respond with a clear head. So you've started to get a handle on your own internal world. Now it's time to look outward. This is where we start building a bridge to the people around us, and we do that with the third and final piece of EQ, empathy. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? Empathy is the tool. It's what you use to translate your own emotional intelligence into real, tangible results, like stronger relationships with your team. It's how you really, truly connect. I love how this slide puts it. It's so simple. Self-awareness is like looking in the mirror. It's all about understanding your stuff. Empathy, that's like looking out the window, trying to understand what's going on with other people. They are two sides of the very same coin. One is internal, one is external, and you absolutely need both to lead well. And ultimately, this is the tightrope a leader has to walk. It's a balance, right? On one hand, you need sensitivity, that ability to connect with your team on a human level. But on the other hand, you need clarity. You've got to provide clear directions so everyone knows where you're all headed. The best leaders, they master both. Okay, so let's get to the payoff. When a leader actually puts all this together, the self-awareness, the self-regulation, the empathy, what's the result? What does it actually look like on the ground? Well, it creates a thriving team environment. The very first thing that happens, and it's probably the most important, is that it builds trust. It's simple. When your team knows you're not going to fly off the handle, they feel secure. And when they know you're trying to understand their perspective, they feel seen. That 1-2 punch is the foundation for all trust.
Second, it gives you the tools to actually navigate conflict. Instead of just adding more heat to an already tense situation, a leader with high EQ can act like a thermostat. They can bring the temperature down, listen to all sides, and help guide the team to a solution instead of a blow-up.
And finally, all of this works together to create a genuinely supportive environment. We're talking about a workplace where people feel psychologically safe enough to take a smart risk, to speak their mind, to be creative, all without being afraid of some unpredictable emotional outburst from their boss. So when you put it all together, what do you get? You get a culture built on EQ, an environment where trust isn't something you have to earn every single day, it's the default setting. It's a place where tough conversations actually make the team stronger, not weaker. It's where people can just flourish.
So here's the bottom line. Working on your emotional intelligence isn't just some fluffy self-help project. No, it is the most direct and tangible work you can do to build a stronger, more effective team. Your personal growth directly fuels their success. And that brings us right back to where we started. Your team's potential, it really does start with you. It starts with looking inward, it's practiced by pausing before you react, and it's given to others through empathy. So the only question left to ask is, where are you going to begin?